Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back. You're watching iAllegedly. And I've got a good one for you today because Subprime 2.0 is here and it's all around us. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel. We have a sponsor today, Patriot Gold, and I will talk about them in a little bit. But let's get right into it. You know, when you hear the term subprime, you hear subprime loans, you think of, bad credit. The problem with it is that this sector of financing is growing and it shows a real problem with the economy. And this problem is something that just can't be ignored because the middle class is getting completely wiped out right now. And what you're seeing is you're seeing a staggering amount of payday loans that are happening. Now, here's the thing, prior to the last financial crisis, we'll say it started in 2008, there was a large buildup in 2006, 2007 to 2008, where a tremendous amount of people went out and borrowed money and they'd start to pay higher and higher interest rates. I was one of those people. And okay, this will solve this problem. We'll advertise more. We'll do this. And as things become, no matter what we did, it didn't work. That's where we're headed right now. And what people are seeing is people are going out and taking these payday advances, and they are up almost 25% right now. There's a great article below that talks about this. But the idea with this is that, I just need an advance. The car broke down. I need to get tires. And it's funny. I have a car that the engine seized on it. So I get to go look for a new car right now. So I will put my money where my mouth is. You're not going to see some Corvette. You're not going to see some Porsche. You're going to see me get something, reasonable, economical, that I can afford, that's going to look nice, that I can write a check for, guys. That's what's going to happen with that, with what Dan's going to drive. So, end of story there. But the point of this is that people are out and they're borrowing money. The middle class is borrowing more money right now than ever at these higher interest rates. And this is something that's not reported upon. You don't see it all over the place, but it is a huge, huge problem. And this huge problem is the fact that these people are slow paying this and they are not paying on time. Now, I am at the Oak Creek Golf Club right here, and I'm at the practice center. I love stuff like this because you can come out here and you can whack balls around and you don't have to pay for anything. So it's a nice little spot that I haven't been out here for you guys before. But they're constantly working with the driving range over there. They move it back and forth. Every time I come here, I've never filmed here, but every time I come here, the driving range is in a different location. So kind of a cool spot. So one thing that you're seeing is the household buffers and cash scarcity. People don't have the money to fix their cars. Like, for example, let's just use me. Let's say that I went out and I needed to borrow money to fix the car. Oh, the engine's seized. I got to go buy a new engine. So many people are in a position right now that they can't do it, and they don't have the credit, or the credit cards are tapped out right now. And you're seeing this more and more and more right now. The negative equity on cars, the upside down amount on credit cards, it is crazy. But what you're going to see, which is going to be a big problem for the holidays, is you're going to see credit card companies cut people off between now and the holidays. Last time, during 2008, this happened to me, where you had people that went out and they were out, let's say you had a $5,000 credit limit. Then you wake up one day and you owe $4,000 on it, and that's what you're seeing. The credit line will get cut to $3,500. So you got to pay down $500 before you can use the card again. Roughly 12 million Americans are taking out payday loans right now. Isn't that crazy? 12 million people are doing that. The astronomical interest rates of these loans, and it's not just these loans. People go out and borrow money in different ways, and the APR right now averages 400%. 400% APR. Hello, seems fair and reasonable, So one thing that we're seeing is this term rent-a-bank, where people are going out and they're basically doing different things that make them appear to be financial, like a financial institution, and they're nowhere near it. And this is a huge, huge problem right now because people think they're dealing with a bank and they can cut you off in a moment's notice. One thing you see, what thing we saw last time that you're seeing again right now, is let's say people can't get a regular conventional credit card. So they go to different online debit card companies, and you can get a $500 spending limit. You put money in and you can spend money with it. You can get your paycheck in there. You can pay bills with it just like a regular debit card, and they charge a little monthly fee and things like that. The problem with this is people are losing access to this money. Don't remind me about Chime, what Chime did to people during, COVID, where they cut people off. And I dealt with dozens and dozens of people that got their PPP loans and then couldn't cash those checks because Chime just took it upon themselves to cut them off. You know, all these apps that are not regulated, you need to be leery of. But the problem with the economy in this is that this is like a contagion. This is something that people get desperate and they start to borrow more money at a higher rate over and over and over again. And it's bad. It really is. It doesn't end well. And people's intention in the beginning are it's going to be okay. And then they take out another loan. It's like the buy now, pay later. This stuff is a subset of the economy that is growing. Why? Because people have no money. Why not just pay for your groceries? No, I can finance my groceries down over 2 months that are going to be eaten in 2 days. It makes no sense. And people are doing that. Oh, it's the convenience, Dan. I have convenience of using buy now, pay later. I like this stuff. It's insane to do this. So, there's regulatory blindness to all these different hard money loans that people don't want to talk about. They don't want to admit that there's a problem with that. You know, Putting Green appears closed. That's a bummer. That looks like a nice one. But again, guys, the beginning of this is the beginning. There's a lot more to cover. Let's talk about our sponsor, Patriot Gold Group. Think about this, guys. Two things that we cannot escape from is that silver is going through the roof, and so is gold. We just saw gold hit a new all-time high of over $3,800 an ounce. You need to do yourself a favor. You need to call #1 rated Patriot Gold Group today. Just have them answer all your questions. Get a free investor guide. Find out how gold can totally work into your retirement. Call them today, 888-330-1431. Let them answer all your questions. Contact them today. But one thing that we've done over the last 3 years is we've seen gold go from $1,800 an ounce to well over $3,800 an ounce. You don't want to miss out on this. #1 rated for 9 years in a row, over 10,000 customers, over $1 billion in transactions. Contact them today. 888-330-1431. Let them know that Dan from iAllegedly sent you. Again, the best place to call. Contact them. Let them answer all your questions. Now, here's something that's very interesting, and that is, do you feel good about things right now? Are you concerned about all the stuff that we're living through? Consumer confidence right now dropped to its lowest level in September, since April. Again, what's the #1 thing people are concerned about? Job availability. Well, wait a second, I have a job, or do I have a job? The job availability market is people that don't have jobs and they're looking for jobs. This is nothing short of disturbing right now. When you have a rate that drops, to 89% from 94%, it's a huge drop off from where people think that they're content. Will you spend more money between now and the end of the year? No. I've had people write me in the last day and say, hey, why do you talk about travel? I can barely make ends meet right now. I'm using this as a generality, guys, with travel. Everybody needs to get their finances in order right now. 100%. 100%. You're going to have something happen to you. Dan's engine seizes. Oh my gosh. Okay. But you know what, guys? It's an inconvenience. It sucks. I hate it. I wanna, uh, drive the car off the pier with my mechanic in it, but he's an okay guy. Anyways, you know what I'm saying? But again, the inconvenience of this is my time and having to look for a new car and do all that shenanigans. And I hate it. Okay. But you know what? I practice what I preach, guys, and I'm ready. And okay, dang it. Here we go. Let's go look. okay, and you start looking for stuff. Now, the good thing is this is the worst time to sell a used car. It is brutal. And you want to, I mean, I should record these calls with these people because it's funny talking to these people. Hey, listen, I know the market says that this is only worth 15,000, but this is a $30,000 car. In your dreams, my friend, in your dreams. But again, people don't get it. This is bad. This is not a good time right now economically. Okay? It's that simple. So we're going to walk across towards the golf course here and try not to get ran over. So a couple things that are funny. You know, Jimmy Kimmel, I don't think I talked about this on the main channel, talked about it on the private channel. Jimmy Kimmel, said some questionable things, and people called it free speech and he can do what he wants. And then they gave him a little light suspension, a slap on the wrist, and now he gets to go back to ABC to his late night show. Now, the ratings when he came back were a killer diller, guys. I mean, he went from a 1.77 rating, which sucks, guys. I'm telling you, that bald eagle that's, given birth and sitting on the egg, I think that gets a better rating than 1.77. But again, you can go online. There's some pretty cool things where you can go online and you can watch, like the Huntington Beach Pier. There's a live cam and you can walk down there. And I have people that say, hey, I'm going to watch the live cam. Let me know next time you're going to do it. So I'll email half a dozen people and I'll be there about 10 a.m. waving, so they can watch this stuff. But, let's go sneak down here. Look at this lily pond. Anyways, Jimmy Kimmel comes back and ratings are gangbusters. 6.6 rating. Through the flipping roof, guys. Unbelievable. People are like, wow, this is it. He's going to do it. Only problem is that he had this ratings honeymoon that died off, completely died off. And each day the ratings dropped more and more and more and more and more. Now, I saw a great interview with, ABC. Prior to this, it was a month earlier, talking about late night TV and how there has to be changes made. Look at that. The stuff that's underneath the lily pond. Anyways, let's park it here for a second. So, ratings are dropping night after night after night. Now, again, we don't talk politics here, but the wokeness is a problem. And it's hurt a lot of companies. I have all this stuff sent to me lately about how you're seeing all these different issues with these companies. American Eagle, hired Cindy Sweeney. She's an attractive young woman, I think in her 20s, an actress. She's in a couple things I've seen that I laughed at and didn't realize it was her. But that actress did a Blue Jeans commercial, which basically it's like, I don't know if you're old enough to remember Brooke Shields doing her Blue Jeans commercial, but I was young and that was my dream girl, was Brooke Shields at one point, before I realized that she's an actress and she's insane. So I digress. Okay. It's the same commercial. If you want to go look at it, go search YouTube and look at the Brooke Shields commercial and look at the Sydney Sweeney commercial, and they are the exact same commercial. The only thing is the CEO of American Eagle steps forward and says, we gained over 1 million new customers as a result of that, by not going and, following, political correctness. Isn't that crazy, guys? Talking about a win, talking a major win. And this is really cool. I'll get a little shot of this thing for you. There's a little stream that this thing's running through. So, nice little spot out here in the middle of nowhere. So let me know what you think about all this stuff. Do you watch Jimmy Kimmel? I don't. Okay, I haven't watched him for years. And, it's just the late night TV. I hate the political stuff right now. I hate it so much. If you're on the private channel, iAllegedly, .tv is where you sign up at that. iAllegedly Live, we call it, and it's fantastic. But anyways, I just think that the business news is enough here, and the politics needs to stay over there. So don't forget, if you signed up for our email list, we just had a good one go out, and check your spam filter. Make sure you got it. I'm going to finish this video with these last few stories. First things first, Vail, Colorado is beautiful. Okay, it is a fantastic ski resort. The Vail company runs 37 ski resorts that they're responsible for in the Colorado area, which I had no idea it was that many. The one thing that's happening right now is the season has started. The pre-sale season has started. Think about this number that I'm going to give you. They were expecting $297 million worth of tickets. They sold just over $200 million. Now think about this. You don't buy a ski pass, you're not going skiing. You're not going to rent, a room at the lodge. You're not going to fly there. You're not going to eat the meals. You're not going to go have drinks. You're not going to do all that stuff. That is huge. That is an absolute killer, killer, killer right now. There is a brand new vending machine that Coca-Cola has that is in Holland that you can basically recycle. Like you want to buy a Coke, you put it in and it will give you basically the equivalent of 37 cents towards your soda. So it's designed to get people to recycle. Now the recycling vending machines have been around here in California. They were around for a while until people realized that they could break into the vending machines and steal the empty cans and take them someplace else and get cash. So, never ceases to amaze me the robberies that happen. Friend of mine, accountant friend, called me, and if you have QuickBooks Online, be very careful, guys, right now, because thieves are doing heinous things right now where they're going in and they're using the oldest trick in the book and asking for people's passwords and contacting the different companies and saying, hey, I need to get reset, and they give it to the wrong person. And the two-factor authentication is not working, and they're writing checks out of people's accounts. I think I mentioned this one a day or so ago, but it's a huge deal. And again, if you're online with that stuff, be careful. Now, the final thing, which is kind of funny, is that I'm up at one of the tees. I should probably bail. Anyways, one of the final things is in San Bruno, California, one of those driverless cars was making lane changes and then did a U-turn in front of a cop. That was illegal, and the cops were like, hey, you can't do that. So they pulled over a driverless car. Here, this is where it gets crazy. How do you give a ticket to a driverless car? And here's the thing that the tech companies got. They got it so where these companies can't be ticketed. So the cop, there's video of this, and I don't know if it's, if I can show it to you or not, but the cop said, no, can't give them a ticket because the tech companies made it so that these people cannot be cited. How about that? Who'd they buy off for that one? Wow. So share your thoughts on that one. Hit the like button. Let me know what's going on. Check your spam filter. And a lot of cool stuff happening this month. October is going to be a big month. And I will see you guys very soon. Onward and upward.